What is going on? What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. We are about to take off, and class is in session. Guys, 23 years ago today, I witnessed one of the most horrendous and horrific events of one's lifetime. Being a native New Yorker, I witnessed the horrors of 9/11, 2001, which happened 23 years and 1 day ago. Specifically, it happened on a Tuesday. I know where I was. I was in my house. And I had some frightening news delivered to me about my mother. My mother's fine, but I was under the impression that my mother might have been in danger, and to my chagrin, she was fine. But I didn't know for hours, because what most people didn't know was, or most people don't know, was that at that time, the World Trade Center was the major communication tower in New York City, especially for cell phones, TV signals, of the like. And as a result, I couldn't get a hold of my mother at the time. Mother is my mother, but I mean, at the time, I couldn't get a hold of my mother. And as a result, I was in complete disarray and disbelief, and also a sense of rage when I realized that we were actually under attack instead of this being some sort of tragic accident, as it once seemed initially when the first plane hit. I don't want to belabor that too much, because it is still a sore subject for me all these years later, and those of us who witnessed it and had to deal with the ramifications and the consequences of it, I'm sure we didn't feel any other kind of way about it either, but sadness and grief. Um, Lost a classmate. He wasn't my classmate literally, but he was a school member at the time of my graduation. So therefore, if he's in my school while I'm there, I have to acknowledge him and I have to respect his presence in mine. So, with that being said, you see the title in the thumbnails, and it is about alcohol. Now, a lot of the time, it is used in various different forms, especially nowadays. It is the major time of the year for sports. That is both football, basketball is right on its way, and baseball is almost on its way out. But in November, that is the cluster of all three major sports being in tow at the same time. It's the only time that that ever happens. Actually, four major sports: hockey, football, basketball, baseball, all being played around the same time as in November. And as of now, any sporting event, if you're around a sporting event of any kind, you already know that there's alcohol involved. Now, part of my inspiration for doing this particular podcast tonight is specifically because I am, I believe that we are misguiding our children, especially those of us who are of color. We are misguiding our children into thinking and believing that alcohol is something to do just to simply do it. And that there's supposed to be no concern, no care, no type of etiquette, no type of control over what it is that we do. And I'm here to tell you that that is completely far from the truth. If you don't know, those of you who know me knows that I only drink 11 occasions of the year. Now, does that mean I literally have 11 drinks a year? No. I am going to be forthcoming and I'm going to be very specific about what I'm going to tell you. I How I navigate with alcohol is alcoholism actually runs in my family. And since alcoholism runs in my family, I participated in alcoholic beverages from the time I was 17, 18. I want to say 18. Yeah. So about 18 years old. And even though at that time it wasn't legal for me to do so, I had my ways of getting to it. So I'm not going to sit here and be hypocritical and tell people of a certain age, which is above adulthood, that they should or shouldn't drink, even though it's against the law to do so. I would tell you, do not do it until you're legally of age, but you're going to do what you're going to do. But to the young people out here who think that alcohol is the party starter, alcohol is the fun drink, alcohol is the end all be all to everything, you're sadly mistaken. It's not fun to drink. You are having fun while you drink. And for those of us who knows the ill effects of it, knows that it has to be measured and under control and never to be just used as a fleeting moment of thought. The main thing is, the reason why that I'm saying this is because it is not the it is not the substance that's the problem. It is our view and our use of the substance that becomes the problem. It's no different than any other vice on the planet. Gambling is not a problem until it is. Drinking is not a problem until it is. Ammunition ownership is not a problem until it is. Those of us who have control, those of us who are responsible, those of us who knows what we're playing with, knows not to mess around with it, enjoy it for what it is, and keep it moving. Some of you witness your family members using it and thinking that because of the fact that your family members are using it, that it's okay for you to use it. And on top of that, some of your family members are ingesting it irresponsibly, so therefore you think that it might be okay for you to ingest it because they're irresponsible. And role models matter in these situations. Did I have the best role models for drinking alcohol? Yes and no. And I'm not going to go into the deep end of who and what, when, where, and why, but everybody knows their role in that saga that is alcohol when presented to me as a person. So I'm going to leave it at that for that. But alcohol is a very dangerous substance. And if you do not know what you're doing with it, you can put yourself in some serious, serious problems. For what, you might ask? Actually, let's start off with the nutritional end of it. Because, again, I've been, as somebody growing up, I used to go to school. And across the street from the school, which was private property, people would stand on the corner or stand on the block, get drunk, on the corner before entering the building. Drink a 40 ounce or pass the 40 ounce around and start swigging on it, and drink right before school, before breakfast. 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody from my high school, tell me I'm lying. Anybody that went to high school with me, tell me I'm lying. So, from then, it wasn't that alcohol was a turnoff for me because I had already been around alcohol enough to know that it's not the substance, it's people in use of the substance that makes the substance bad. As somebody who has been educated in alcohol and drugs since the age of 15, meaning not only from a street perspective, meaning I've seen and witnessed people drinking and doing drugs almost my whole life, but I also got educated on the consequences of substance abuse, what substance abuse can look like, and how to actively avoid it. Since the age of 15, I've been educated on this subject matter. However, there's always more to learn. And as I became a personal trainer and having to acknowledge that there are people who are going to ingest alcohol, whether excessively or, to my chagrin, even when they're in a journey of weight loss, I had to educate myself on a level unlike anything else. And even as we speak, I always do refresher courses and remind myself what the consequences of alcohol is to the human body. So those of y'all who are actually health conscious, I'm going to share with you my screen because this is my digital book for my physique and bodybuilding coaching certification. Shout out to the NASM organization, the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I am utilizing your book at this point in time for an educational purpose, not to actually circumvent your information to pass along to everyone who wants to take this particular course. So let me read this to you. It's all highlighted. And by the way, I highlight everything. Alcohol is considered a non-essential nutrient because it provides energy, 7 calories per gram, but the body does not need it to survive. The World Health Organization classifies a standard drink as 10 grams of pure ethanol, with both men and women advised not to exceed 2 standard drinks per day. Now stop right there. How many of you know somebody or been the person that has consumed more than 2 standard drinks in one day? I'll wait. I'll raise my hand as a matter of fact. I've done it. Not since, wow, since I was what, 23? I have not done that since I was 23 years old, in all seriousness. And if you didn't raise your hand, either you don't drink at all or you're lying. One alcoholic drink is typically defined as 360 milliliters, 12 fluid ounces of beer with 5% content, which means malt liquor is actually higher. Malt liquor is beer on steroids, if you don't know. A 5 fluid ounce glass of wine with 12% alcohol content, which means if you're drinking malt liquor, as a matter of fact, let's Google the alcoholic content of malt liquor. You want to spell alcohol right? Six to 9% by volume, which is just a tad below wine. 3% below wine. So if we're going to give it a 3% increase in consumption, it would stand between 12 to 7 ounces. So we're talking about 9 fluid ounces of malt liquor is the equivalent to 12 ounces of beer. Okay? Or 1.5 fluid ounces of liquor with a 40% alcohol content. Low to moderate alcohol consumption has been associated with some protective effects against cardiovascular disease, such as reducing stress and raising levels of HDL cholesterol. So, before anybody gets bright ideas and think that you're going to go out and consume alcohol to increase your HDL so that way you can have a heart healthy body, there's also the problem of damaging your liver. Excuse me. But we're not going to get into that either because that's a whole nother subject. However, this is cardioprotective effect is often disputed and the risks seem to outweigh the benefits of alcohol consumption, which means if you do it in moderation with some variance level of control, your HDL levels will go up, but at the same time, you have to be under complete control over your diet in order to get those benefits, if any at all. Chronic heavy, I didn't highlight this because it states the obvious, but for you guys, I'm going to read it. Chronic heavy alcohol consumption has been associated with the elevated risk of negative mental and physical health conditions, including certain cancers, hypertension, strokes, immune dysfunction, injuries, and psychological and behavioral disorders, meaning chemical dependency on alcohol to the point where you can't drive anymore because every time you drive you end up being a drunk driver and no insurance is going to cover you, and on top of that you can't seem to control yourself while on alcohol, you can't seem to control yourself without alcohol. Any variation of that is the situation that we're talking about. Injuries, meaning you either caused injuries to other people because you're either fighting or you're clumsy or you were negligent, or you caused harm to yourself because you couldn't keep your fool mouth shut and it got you knocked out, or you couldn't keep control of your body and therefore you injured yourself and fell awkwardly, broke your shoulder, broke your elbow, broke your leg, whatever it was, you hurt yourself. Immune dysfunction, again, the liver, your pancreas, both shot to sugar because you are excessively drinking. Strokes, meaning blood clot, because your body is so used to hyper exaggerating clotting because when you drink alcohol, you're thinning your blood actually. So when your body recognizes that your blood is thinning, it creates and coagulates at a higher and rapid rate, therefore causing you to have a strong consideration for having a stroke. Hypertension, all that alcohol is going to harden your arteries. Okay? And cancer, because you're eroding cells of your body with alcohol. Now, does that mean that eroding any cells in your body with alcohol is bad? No. But excessively eroding it causes your body to create mutated cellular structures, which is literally what cancer is. So now here we go. Alcoholic beverages can be calorically dense with a negligible nutritional value, which is why they have earned the reputation of being empty calories. So those of y'all who want a nice little body and some stuff like that, stop drinking because the body ain't gonna body very much longer, especially when you drink. But alcoholic beverages typically contain ethanol and a small amount of carbohydrates without offering any vitamins or minerals. The approximate calorie and carbohydrate content alcoholic beverages shows the calorie and carbohydrate content of some common alcoholic beverages. Indeed, the calorie content can be greater in alcoholic beverages with higher alcohol content and or additional sugar, carbohydrates, and high calorie mixers Regular consumption of alcohol may make it difficult for physique athletes to stay within their daily caloric targets and over time can contribute to weight gain. Unlike protein, fat, and carbohydrates, alcohol is not stored in the body. Following consumption, alcohol is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream and the body begins to metabolize it by either converting it into acetyl coenzyme A to either be metabolized further for energy or converted to fat to be stored in adipose tissue as triglycerides. Let me tell you something. Fun fact, if you eat and drink alcohol, which most people will do, or drink alcohol then eat, everything you consumed will be turned into fat. Everything. Why? Because now your body is trying to detoxify through the liver, and your liver is your main storages of carbohydrates. And since your body is the main storage of carbohydrates, it does not have time to store carbohydrates. And since it does not have time to store those carbohydrates, it's going to convert everything over to fat while detoxifying your blood. Once it's completed with that, your body will then, hopefully, if you're smart, you'll know how to overcome your sudden fat gain with exercise and dieting techniques that will allow you to circumvent that further. However, it is not all guaranteed to work firsthand. So, alcohol may also impact calorie intake because it has the potential to stimulate appetite, leading to a greater calorie intake in subsequent meals. Meaning, you're drunk, you're going to be hungry, you're going to eat more, and on top of that, you're going to crave crappy foods. So here is the caloric tables for alcoholic beverages. A regular beer is 140 calories. So one beer is 140 calories. 3 beers is almost the equivalent to a Big Mac. If you drank 3 beers, you pretty much ate a Big Mac. 12 carbohydrates, multiply that by 3, there's 36 grams of carbohydrates. And as we well know, a Big Mac is not 32 grams of carbohydrates. It's not even 32 grams of all that it's containing. A light beer, if you're a little conscious, is 95 calories with 4 grams. A third less of the carbohydrates, but not a third less of the calories. 1 4-ounce glass of wine is 75 calories. Shot of liquor, 95 calories. Mixed drink, 125 calories. A pina colada, which I am a master maker of, 525 calories. So if I am a personal trainer, which I am, and I am advising my clients who likes to consume alcohol, I like to take down the particular drinks that they like to drink. So if somebody were to say be the fan of the pina colada, what I would suggest that they do is instead of creating a pina colada, what I would suggest that they do is create a rum fresher with pineapple in it. And then maybe mix it with a little bit of essence of coconut and then call it a day. Now, people, I am not teaching y'all how to make drinks. This is not what we're doing here. Even though I am a mixologist, that's a whole nother story. But the truth is what I'm trying to do is get y'all to see what the problem is in consuming alcohol, right? Along with excess empty calorie intake, a general health risk, regular alcohol ingestion may promote and other unfavorable outcomes that interfere with physique-oriented goals. Although chronic effects of alcohol intake on long-term muscular adaptations in resistance-trained individuals have not been adequately studied, acute alcohol intake has shown to alter the hormonal milieu, impair recovery from muscle-damaging exercise, reduce circulating levels of amino acids, blunt intramuscular anabolic activity, and impair sleep quality, which means alcohol kills your gains, bruh. When alcohol is consumed following resistance exercise, higher levels of cortisol and lower levels of testosterone have been observed when compared to no alcohol trials, which means it also messes with your ability for your kids to start swimming, fellas. Which means you gain more belly fat, which means there's a whole bunch of other messes that's going on. And yes, like I said, I consume alcohol 11 times a year. Sometimes I may forego a day. I mean, a occasion, I should say. Increased cortisol and decreased testosterone can negatively impact anabolic catabolic balance, which has the potential to blunt recovery and muscular adaptations over time if alcohol is regularly consumed following training sessions, which is actually moronic if you're working out. But if it's doing it to people that work out, what do you think it's doing to people who don't? Do you think it's accelerating your catabolism? Catabolism is when your body's breaking down, as opposed to anabolism, which is the increasing of muscular tissue or body tissue for that matter. A lot of you don't take that into account when you're killing a six-pack a night. A lot of you don't take that into account when you're killing a 12-pack on a weekend. And you wonder why some of you that were my military compadres were wondering why I was tearing y'all asunder week after week, month after month while I was in. Because I wasn't drinking like that. Not because I couldn't, but because I didn't need to. There was no purpose. So I had my fun, but best rest assured, it wasn't all the time. Some of y'all thought I was being a goody two shoes, but at the same time, it wasn't that. What it was is that I've seen what it can do. All right. Post exercise alcohol ingestion has also shown to negatively influence recovery from muscle damaging exercise and exacerbate strength losses. So if you wonder why somebody cannot function, meaning get up and off the toilet in their elderly years, is because they consume too much alcohol in their elderly years and there's no opportunity to build muscle. Perhaps the most noteworthy implication for physique athletes is the potential for alcohol to blunt anabolism. Like I said, kills your gains. Following resistance exercise. Post-exercise alcohol consumption has shown to blunt intramuscular anabolic signaling and impair muscle protein synthesis following a bout of weight training. So if you're in the gym and you get up and you get out of there and you're having beer, you just killed your gains. Even when alcohol was co-ingested with an optimal amount of protein. So don't think for 1 second, well, I ate all what I needed to eat. Because like I just told you, everything you ingest gets converted to fat the minute you consume alcohol with it. So that means all that protein you ate is no longer protein. It's now fat. Anabolic responses in skeletal muscle were suppressed following a single bout of concurrent training. Meaning, even after you drank. The next day you drank, the day after you drank, if you go back to the gym and work out, it ain't gonna look good for you, bro. Therefore, muscle growth and strength adaptations will likely not be optimized if alcohol is regularly consumed in the post workout period. Lastly, even moderate alcohol consumption is shown to disrupt sleep quality, which can unfavorably impact the body composition and recovery. I am here to tell you, after I came back from my trip from Florida, I was literally 7 pounds heavier after 1 week away. I consumed alcohol maybe a total of 4 days, which constitutes my 2 days per occasion that I had. So, because I foregone my Memorial Day drinking and my July 4th drinking, I combined those days for that period of time. And I did that, like I said, since I'm on vacation, might as well enjoy myself, right? However, I didn't sleep great. Moderate. And also, on those times when I do drink on the occasion, I usually wait the weekend of the occasion, or I wait till the weekend subsequent of the occasion. So like if the occasion is on a Monday, I'll either drink that Saturday or that Saturday or that Sunday. I will never
because I have to go back to work the next day. And since my sleep quality is going to be impaired and changed, I actually drink on that Sunday and recover on that Monday to be able to function on that Tuesday. Or I just drink on that Saturday and let my body recover Sunday and then work Monday to do whatever it is that I wanted to choose to do. As opposed to trying to follow through. Because in the past, I have experienced those lagging effects of alcohol after drinking the night before, which was a Sunday, and I had to go back to work on a Monday, and I drank that Sunday afternoon. And therefore, I drank that Sunday afternoon, and I stopped, and I thought that not doing it in the day would give me more time and more place to be able to function better. But to my chagrin, was dragging till the next day. So therefore, I don't like how I feel when I drink. When I have to go to work, whether it's the gym, to work, I'm never going to work drunk in any capacity whatsoever, and it will never happen. But, and I've never went to work hungover either. But what I'm saying is that the energy feeling is gone. While the recommendation for physical athletes to abstain from alcohol is common, particularly during contest preparation, specifically when you're supposed to be shredding. Some evidence suggests that physical athletes who engage in vigorous exercise, including resistance training, are more likely to binge drink. That's terrible. Therefore, alcohol intake is an important consideration for physique coaches and physique athletes. In any case, physique athletes may be interested in dietary strategies that allows for an occasional drink. It is important for the physique coach to educate the physique athlete on the potential ramifications like I'm doing right now, on alcohol consumption on general health, calorie control, body composition, exercise recovery, hormone imbalances, and muscle building capacity and sleep quality. So all of those things are what people who want to get swole focus on. And if you're trying to get swole the right way, trust and believe me when I tell you, you do not want to be consuming alcohol so regularly that you won't get no gains. You know that's what's gonna happen. Alright? So, that's the end of that. So, there's also the situation of how people interact when they are consuming alcohol. Fellas, I'm gonna warn you. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to warn you. Make sure you are being 100% safe when you're consuming alcohol. I don't give a damn what your problems are. I don't give a damn what stresses you're dealing with. I don't give a damn what lifestyle you choose to live. What I care about is the consequences that come of you ingesting alcohol in the most unsafest of manners. How many of you ever heard of Brock Turner? Brock Turner was a swimmer who had Olympic aspirations, who basically turned around and sexually aid a young lady who was highly inebriated, and it's only because they caught him in the act of doing so. So I'm going to go into the criminal case in which Brock Turner was convicted by jury trial on 3 counts of felony SA. On January 18, 2015, which is exactly 9 years ago, on the Stanford University campus, Turner and then a 19-year-old student athlete at Stanford SA'd a 22-year-old Chanel Miller, I'm sure the other one named her name, referred to in the court documents as Emily Doe, while she was unconscious, drunk. By the way, and I'm not blaming them, take for 1 second, I'm blaming her for her demise. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're going to consume alcohol, even to excess, make sure you are with somebody that can keep you safe at all times. That's what I'm saying. Or choose not to consume alcohol in excess and be of your mind, especially on mind and body, and avoid confrontations and conflict with other people. Two medical students intervened and held Turner in place until police arrived. For the age 19, he's now 28. Turner was initially indicted on 5 charges, 2 for grape and 2 first felony SA, and 1 attempted grape. Although the 2 grape charges were later withdrawn, on February 2, 2015, Turner pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The trial concluded on March 30, 2016, with Turner convicted of 3 charges of felony sexual A. On June 2nd, Santa Clara County Superior Court Judge Aaron Persky sentenced Turner to 6 months in jail following by 3 years of probation. Additionally, Turner was obliged to register as an SO for life. That's always good. And to complete a rehabilitation program for SOs. Turner was released after serving 3 months, which was half of his sentence for good behavior. Turner filed an appeal of his conviction and sentence in 2017, but it was denied because you did it. You really did. Okay, make it make sense. You really did. 2 graduate students are going to intervene with you getting it on with a woman of her own free will and hold you down to police club? No, you got caught red-handed. Okay? Red-handed. And you have another trial of attorney conviction. The victim, it's written right there, but victim of that story to the court on June 2nd, 2016 was widely disseminated by international media outlets. It was also widespread criticism of what was seen as a light sentence by Judge Persky, and he was recalled by the voters in 2018 as he should have. The case influenced the California legislature to require presentations from corpus whose victims were unconscious to include penetration of the definition of grape. I agree. In 2019, relinquished her anonymity to a released autobiography entitled No My Way, Remember also is therefore, okay, I can say her name, not because I don't want to name her in some sort of like judgment, but because I don't want to put her business out there like that, but it's out there, so therefore she's said where. There's also, I could go through numerous of conditions where alcohol was involved, and tragedy struck. Here in Colorado, 70-Rod decided to drive drunk with his girlfriend's kids in a pickup truck. They were on board of the pickup truck. They weren't in the truck. They were screaming down the highway at 100 miles an hour. Lost control, killed his girlfriend's child instantly. And this coward, instead of taking accountability for his actions on the spot, especially when it's your girlfriend's child that you slaughtered, this person decided to crawl in the backseat and pretend like he was a passenger in the accident. Never rendered aid, never tried to render aid, never did any of those things. And I hope he gets the help that he needs, and I hope that every day of his life, that young child haunts his dreams and his memories, knowing that this is the tragedy of what he caused. Alcohol is nothing to play with. If you all know bucks out here that wants to consume alcohol, let me tell you something. Young bucks, I'm talking about people who are underage trying to consume alcohol. Be very careful with the choices you make, because all it takes is the wrong decision. In the wrong situation, you will be like Black Turner. Even if the situation did not, the events did not happen as they are believed to have happened. I'm gonna repeat myself. Even if the events did not happen as you believed them to happen, you're gonna find yourself in a very, very serious litigation situation. You might be fighting for your freedom, is what I'm telling you. You could be of sound mind and body, she could have been completely drunk off her rocker. If she remembers something, whether it happened or not, you are in deep doo-doo. Okay? So y'all youngsters who think that y'all are gonna try to play grown and try to seduce other girls your age, utilizing alcohol as the means and the vehicle to do so, I've got news for you. Don't do it. Do not do it. You're not grown. You have not made certain concessions as adults would make to make sure that people are in agreement when things are taking place. Even adults must be very careful on how they tread when they're consuming alcohol and the events that need afterwards. But because we're adults, and because we've been warned, and because we've been educated to some degree, hopefully, we make decisions in that mindset. I'm not telling you we make the best decisions, but I'm telling you we make assessments and decisions based on all that is involved. And so some of us will gain benefits, and some of us will do not. But you youngsters, do not consume alcohol before your age for several reasons. Your brain isn't fully developed, y'all. Youngsters, your brain is not fully developed. So therefore, your chances of addiction is extremely high. effects on alcohol in an adult brain versus the effects of alcohol in a child's brain are completely different things. Don't believe me? Let's look it up. Let's look at that one. Effects of alcohol versus adolescent brain. So let's read this quick thing right here. It's alcohol impairs, drinking alcohol impairs decision making and impulse control. So think of yourself, teenagers, adolescents. How much control over impulse do you have? As a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old. Impulse control is minimal. For adolescents, drinking alcohol can make it even more difficult to control impulses and make healthy choices. Just how does drinking affect the teenage brain? But I was kidding about how the alcohol will affect you versus an adult. Let's go. In the teenage drinking, how alcohol impacts the adolescent brain and the effects of binge drinking. Okay? During the teenage and early most brain stages are negative alcohol than the adult brain. I just said that. I didn't read this study, by the way. This is not something I researched. If you don't believe me, if you go back and watch this video, did you see the link in purple? If the link is in purple, that means I've came across it, that means I looked at it, that means I saw it. It was in purple. It was not. This is all education that I've already been aware of for decades. Why is teenage drinking dangerous? Alcohol is most commonly used in research drug among young people in the United States, according to the CDC. CDC reports excessive underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths among individuals each year. According to CDC's 2015 Youth Risk Behavior Study, when high school students were asked about their activities during the previous 30 days, they said they drank some amount of alcohol. 18% reported drinking, maybe drinking 5 billion drinks in a 2-hour period, and 8% said that they drank after drinking alcohol. More than 90% of alcohol consumed is being before they binge drinking. Because why? You gotta get why you're doing it. I'm gonna get it while it's bad because guess what? I know I'm gonna get it again. I'm gonna get this opportunity to put this stuff in my body. So I might as well charge. Yeah. The National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism defines binge drinking as a drinking pattern that brings a person's blood alcohol concentration to 0.08 or above. When drinking means consuming 500 drinks in about 2 hours for someone who's biologically male or female with the drinks. For someone who's biologically female. Funny. Then I went with it, and I already told you what it was. Like I told you, it's in here, right? And also, ladies, biological females, whether you're transgendered male or cisgendered female, it is always going to be 4 drinks. Have you watched Mama? Women don't drink faster than men. Of equals height and weight, or of equal weight, let's start with that. The dangers of drinking include the increased risk of drunk driving, violent behavior, and victim of SA, transmitted diseases, and long-term alcohol addiction. Increased risk. Adding to the concerns or studies provide scientific evidence that alcohol significantly impairs learning and memory in teens. Like you don't need any more help wrecking your brains. Adults who drink also experience problems. However, living and knowing Otis compromised by alcohol in adolescents and in adults. It's like I said this already. On a website I was not on. I could have just took this off the door if I really wanted to. Actually, I kinda did, didn't I? In decision-making functions and associated connections with memory center, which last throughout the teenage years into a person's early 20s, which means you shouldn't even be consuming alcohol at 20, which is the age. Go from it. There's that period of time that alcohol use and misuse both ways. See? Adolescents can be kept safe and learn how to take alcohol if they drink under adult supervision. Why? Can't do that because you mess with kids' brains, and some of you parents who were thinking that you were going to be protective of all of this thought that you would, how many beers how many beers you gonna let your kid have? You're affecting their ability to make sound decisions. By allowing them to consume alcohol before the age of 25 females, 28 males. The outside said men need to make longer before they drink than females, but females need to drink less than males when they do consume alcohol. Yes, I said it. So fellas, guess what? Goals mature faster than boys. Meaning your brain doesn't stop at 25. It's actually closer to 28, if not 30. Further research shows that the younger person is when you start drinking, the greater alcohol problems. Didn't I say that like 30 minutes ago? I'm sure I said something like that. Like I said, damn, I could have did this off the top of the dome. I think I did. Besides, the National Survey of Drug Use and Health shows that adults aged 20 make the first use alcohol at age 14 or younger are more likely to be classified with alcohol dependence or misuse than adults who have their first drink at age 21 or older. So like I said this already, chance of alcoholic addiction disorder is never zero unless someone has lifetime abstinence from alcohol consumption, and the risk are even more pronounced if there is a family history of alcohol use disorder. Kinda said that earlier, I'm safe, didn't I? Overall, it's important to understand the impact of teenage drinking because most of the US population will go on to have some relationship with alcohol. The daily population does not drink at or has low levels of use. The third drink socially and in moderate levels, and a third are heavy, dangerously whiskey drinkers. The problems associated with teenage alcohol use are clearly serious. Parents, teachers, and others who interact with adolescents know that a just saying no to alcohol approach is not enough to deter drinking. I just do it when people bring it around me. I don't bring it. I don't buy it. I don't take it out of my family's house. I just do it when everybody else does it. I just do it when people bring it over. worse time. That's actually the worst time. Because now you are setting yourself up for all kinds of calamity. So I'm not saying just say no. I just say no. And I'm teaching you right now. That's why it is important to educate teens and their caretakers about the impact of use on the teen and the protection that comes with drinking until teens make the neurobiological transition into adulthood. A family study of science behind teenage drinking and brain development is helping to encourage adolescents to make better decisions about drinking and to as better tools to discourage risky behaviors. So, don't believe me about brain development, so let's look that up. Ages of brain development. Men versus women. Women's brains appear younger than men's. More ages the brain fully developed versus women. 25. And men developed shared values and manners of society that tends to be the process that population was trying to encourage. So, she added that boys catch up to girls in development by late high school. Boys and females don't finish brain development until about 25. Explain why women may stay mentally sharp in later years. While the brain tends to struggle with age by diminished faster than women's, the brain's determines a slow system of weight is truly different between men and women. Trying to find a brain wasn't shitty by how the sugar changes as in age, babies and children show their brain through in a process called aerobic glycolysis. It's the stage of brain development maturation. Once the sugar is brought to the task, and thinking of moving the minister brain was to find the ages. No, this is not a good study for me to read. That's not what I'm trying to find out. If it is developing and maturing in the mid to late 20s, the part of the brain behind the forehead called the prefrontal cortex is one of the last parts to mature. The area is responsible for skills like planning, prioritizing, and making good decisions. And when is the brain fully developed? They say 25, but it's actually closer to 28. But I am going to land this plane. Guys, the goal is not going anywhere. We tried to abolish it, and it didn't work. We look at prohibition, okay? And in that process, and knowing that we can't ban it, it is involved in everything from sporting events, to parties, to commercialized celebrations. It is not going to go anywhere. But you need to not only safeguard yourselves, but you also need to safeguard your children and understand the consequences of alcohol use. Not only responsible alcohol use, but irresponsible alcohol use needs to be explained so that when they understand exactly why they need to the right. Instead of trying to, what's the word, give themselves a rite of passage into adulthood needlessly and ineffectively. Because as a result, what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself either in a bad situation or a dependency on a chemical that will ruin your life if you let it. When I say let it, I don't mean once you're addicted, that it's your fault that you cannot control your addiction. What I'm saying is that if you allow yourself to be influenced too early, you will find yourself in a series of calamities that leads to addiction. With your body, if you drink it too much, it will mess with your gains if you're an athlete. It will mess with your capacity to perform at the highest of levels if that is what you are aspiring to do. I personally have managed to create my own personal system that works for me, that works for my wife, on how we manage to consume alcohol. Does it work for you? It may not. It may be that you may not be able to drink it at all. It may be that you might have to drink it less than I do. But what I will warn against is I wouldn't exceed more than once a month. And what I mean by once a month is one occasion a month. And I wouldn't exceed more than two beverages in that time frame. Guys, that is my time. I am exhausted. It's been a very long day. I'm starving. My food is waiting. And I'm ready to have at it and get to bed and start my day over again tomorrow. But I have another video ready waiting for you. And it's a really good one, so be on the lookout for that. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Plus a Stoutt.